And today I'm going to share with you my recipe for pasta, bow-tied pasta with collard greens. Get it? Bow-tie, collard greens, anyway. And the collard greens are going to be fried. You're going to love it. It's going to take maybe 15 to 20 minutes to cook, and that's it. I have my sun-dried tomatoes. I also have a fresh tomato. I have some crooked yellowneck squash and some green zucchini, along with I have my water boiling over here, and I got a little bit of olive oil in the pan. I'm going to get it warm so we can just jump in here and start right away. Of course, I have my Granny Nancy apron on. I'm going to put that in the olive oil. Last little piece cut. Now we'll take this. I have the greatest cutting board. Look at this cutting board. Watch this. I'm going to put it in there. Ooh. So now I got the pills. Okay, so we have the zucchini in here with some olive oil. I got that olive oil. You can hear it sizzling. That's how you know your food is cooking. You can always hear it sizzling. This is basically garlic, pepper, and red pepper. Okay, so add some of that to your zucchini. And also add some black pepper to the zucchini and the crooked yellowneck squash, and you'll get that going real good. Along with some, this is a little seasoning salt I make myself. It's red pepper, paprika, black pepper, salt, and garlic salt. If you make some of this, you can season anything that you cook. And I want to try to remind everybody, put your tops on your pans, especially if you're boiling water. Put the top on the pan or the water will take forever to boil. I tell this to my kids and my grandkids all the time. They're like, Granny, the water won't boil. So you put the top on the water, it'll boil. So that's not quite boiling yet, but we got the zucchini sauteing in the olive oil. And so we'll keep that right there back at the ranch cooking like that. Now this is the pan that we're going to cook the collard greens in, believe it or not. Okay? And the collard greens, we've already prepared the collard greens. They've already been cleaned and washed about 3 times. You want to soak your collard greens about 3 different times, empty the water and rinse them. And so this is the trick to the collard greens. Take some olive oil, put about that much in your pan, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan, let's say. Okay? I basically covered the bottom of the pan. And I'll probably be adding more. Okay, turn this on. Get this going really, really good. And then you know how greens work. You cook some and they cook down and it doesn't look... I'm just putting it and added some more. Because I know I'm going to add it anyway. So, you know how greens work. You cook them, they cook down to nothing, then you add more. And you'll want to make it too. Just put even amounts of garlic salt, garlic powder, red pepper, paprika, black salt, and or black salt, black pepper, and white salt. Okay? And season your olive oil like that. Okay? Get it going. Okay, and while we wait for that to get going, so we get these stirred up. And we don't want to overcook the zucchini because zucchini is real kind of thin. I don't know, it cooks easily. So you don't want them to be all mashed up and smushy. So just keep moving them around, saute them. We got our water boiling. So in our water, that's where we're going to add our bow-tie pasta, okay? So we have bow-tie pasta. I don't know, this is about 16 ounces, okay? So we'll put that in there and boil that. Now, a lot of people, what they do is they put olive oil or vegetable oil in their water where they cook their pasta. I don't do that, and the reason why is when you do, then you coat your pasta, consequently not allowing any other flavors to get in. So you kind of want to, don't put anything in your water but salt, okay? Now this is cooking, let's see. This is what I do to check and see. I just splatter it with a little bit of water. Okay, you can see that's ready. Okay, so all of our bag of greens into the olive oil. Get that going. You can hear the olive oil cooking. You're going to be shocked at how much better it is to cook your greens like this. Okay? So we'll get those on there so they can start. And when you put the top on, it steams the greens a little bit too. So you're sauteing them in the olive oil / steaming them a little bit. But towards the end, we'll remove the top so they can get a little bit more blackening, so to speak. Okay. Now, these are the zucchinis. They're looking great. The bow tie pasta, you're only going to cook that for about 10 minutes. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to get this ready because we want to have some sun-dried tomatoes in the bow tie pasta. But what we'll do is we'll add it to the zucchini so it can get a little bit warm. Okay? So watch this. I don't know, take a couple forks full to your own liking, you know, about that much. These are sun-dried tomatoes that are in some olive oil, obviously. We have our sun-dried tomatoes that we put in with our zucchini, and we're sauteing that a little bit. But let's have, just to put an extra pizzazz to it, I like to cut up a fresh tomato to throw it in there too, okay? So we have the flavor of our sun-dried tomato, but we also have our fresh tomato too, so it'll pick up some of the flavors from that. There you go. Okay. Okay, then we have our collard greens over here still cooking. Okay, look at that. Okay. Okay, those are in the olive oil. Oh my goodness, look at that. I'm telling you, who would ever guess that you could cook your collard greens in 20 minutes? But you can. These are going to be so tasty, I can't even tell you. I'm going to add some more of my own seasoning salt, which again is garlic pepper, red pepper, black pepper, white salt, and garlic salt. Okay? I'm going to add a little bit of that. Stir them around. Let them get going some more. Okay? So we got that. Our greens still cooking, and this is pretty much cooked now. Let's see this bow tie. Don't overcook your pasta. Nobody wants pasta that we'll pour it in our colander and let it drain. Okay? Let it drain and pour it back in here. Okay? And season it a little bit. Whoop, sorry. Okay. Okay, I have that little pepper mill. It's garlic. This is garlic and red pepper. Not only does this make it taste good, but it gives it a little colorful look. You kind of have to shake it real hard, but it comes out okay, like that, okay? And then what I like to do after I put the garlic and red pepper in there is I put a dash of basil. Okay? You want those green speckles in there. It doesn't seem real if it doesn't have green speckles of parsley, okay? Or basil, rather. I already put the parsley. Okay? And then we have our pepper, a little bit of pepper. Okay? Just a little ground on top of there. And let's stir that up. Okay? So there we have it. This is going to be great. With those seasonings on here, and then you just want to have a little dash of olive oil. You can't go without olive oil. This is the key to everything these days, is the olive oil. Of course, the olive oil, and then my special Granny Nancy seasoning salt with garlic salt, garlic powder, black pepper, paprika, red pepper, and salt. Okay, there we go. Now, look at that pasta. That looks good just by itself. Okay, but we'll put that over here. And then we have our sun-dried tomatoes with our, oh, look at that. The zucchini, the sun-dried tomatoes with the fresh tomatoes, the crooked yellow neck squash, the olive oil, and all the seasonings. This looks great. Okay, so now let's just run over here really quick and check a little bit on these greens. This is the highlight of the show. Look at that. That's when you know your greens are going to be good, when you saute them like this and you can hear them. Listen to that. Doesn't that sound good? That's the sound of cooking. That's when you know you've cooked them well, when you hear them cooking. Okay? You know, you didn't have to cook them all day and cook the life out of them. And you kind of blacken them. I like to blacken them. Our last check on the greens. No, I don't mean I kind of like to blacken them. I blacken them every time. And I've noticed that that's how everybody loves it. Okay, those are pretty much done. So let's put our package together. So let's take some of this pasta. Look at that. that's beautiful. And then what I usually do is I get my sauteed zucchini and sun-dried tomatoes and fresh tomatoes. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? I take my greens, I kind of like my greens to be the star of the show. Top headliners like this. Look at those greens. Oh my goodness. When have you ever seen greens look that good, that fast? Look at that, isn't that gorgeous?